Happy Father's Day. Ooh, happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Grandfathers, papas, and gramps. Happy Father's Day.
Aloha, everyone. And happy Father's Day. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. You are in the right place today. And we're really happy to have you here. Thank you for coming. I love the fact that we can all come together at all different times. When there's joy and when there's sorrow, we can come together and just hold each other in each other's embrace. And today's service will be dedicated to the people of Orlando. So keep that in mind all through the service, all right? So without further ado, before we start though, I'm going to have Michelle LeMay come up and announcements.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. And happy Father's Day to all the dads and all the moms who are dads as well. There's plenty of that too. Yes, you're welcome. Well, we have lots going on. Everything is in your pamphlet as well, so I'll kind of just briefly go through, but this week we have quite a few things happening. Today, directly after service, we'll have our women's gathering here in the center, and then the men will have their Mindful Treehouse meeting outside at one of the pavilions by the ocean. So that'll be after we'll have a little bit of social time after service, and then we'll gather you for that, for those of you who would like to join us and stay. And then tomorrow night in the evening, we have Reverend Diane, who's going to be doing Spirit Talk, where you can come and learn a little bit more about the philosophy, do some meditation, do some learnings from the science of mind, and really find ways to bring this into your daily life and how you can incorporate this and use this every day, not just on Sundays. And then next Saturday, we have a special day where we're asking for help. For those of you who came last week, we did have a little volunteer meeting, so we do know of some of you who are interested in helping out with the center. But we have our first activity, which will be Saturday, and that's going to be head by Kelly, who's standing, right? Where we're going to have a special cleanup day here at the center to beautify the center. And so anybody who's available to do that, that's going to start at 10 a.m. next Saturday. Please see Kelly for that. There's also a sign up. Anything you want to shout out about that? There you go. Thank you for your help in advance. We know people will come and help. And that is also in part to just beautify the center, but also to get ready because we have a great fundraiser that's going to be happening, the cabaret. You've been hearing lots about it. You've been hearing the Reverend singing. They're very excited to be bringing their story to you in the form of a cabaret. So that's going to be July 7th and 8th. There's going to be 2 performances. And you do need to purchase tickets ahead of time. Your tickets will include poo-poos and drinks and, of course, the show itself. So you can see Reverend Diane in the bookstore for that, or you can go on the website. You can get tickets for sale there as well. And then next Monday, we are going to have another Spirit Sound Infusion with Michael and Carrie Fox. Yay! I catch people unawares when I'm up here. Just look good at all times. So that's going to be a fabulous evening where we clear out the chairs. So bring comfies if you have mats or blankets and pillows, because it's really just a relaxation to absorb their beautiful, mystical, magical sounds. And that's going to be Monday, the 27th. And then the 29th, this will be next week, Anna Myers always does they call it Spirit Wednesday now, where they take an article out of the Science of Mind magazine and discuss it and chat it and have a circle about that. So that's in Princeville at 3 o'clock on Wednesday the 29th. And then the last one is about our big Lidgate party that's going to follow the fundraiser. It's why we're having the fundraiser. We will be celebrating 3 years old for CSL here on Kauai, which is a big deal. It started off with the Reverends, and now we have all of us. So that particular service will be at Lidgate. So we are spreading the word out now. It's also going to be a big party. Sacred Earth Choir is going to be here. It's going to be a potluck. So keep that in mind as well. And it'll be at our regular time, but at a different location at the big pavilion at Lidgate. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, and enjoy your service.
Thank you. So one more thing I want to say. It's in your program, but we are supporting something called myoutspirit.com. And it is the LGBT community of teens who are needing spiritual enforcement, spiritual messages from spiritual leaders because they get a lot of negative stuff. So if you go to that website, you can sign up, you can contribute, you can do whatever you want to do on there. Send them a message, and next Sunday we're going to be dedicating it to them. So we were actually doing this before what happened in Orlando happened, so it just kind of coincided. So I just totally encourage us to just go and give these kids a positive message about their spirituality, all right, and their lives, and that they're perfect, Okay, so with that said, I want us to just take a deep breath. And I want us to just settle into our chairs. I invite you to settle into the breath of life that you are, that we all are. That when I take a breath and when you take a breath, it's one breath. It's the breath of God, the breath of life expressing. We're all breathing it, and we're all breathing it out into this atmosphere called Earth, called eternity. We're all connected. And I would like to just share a quote from Ernest Holmes with you as we go into our time of meditation. It's this: we would soon overcome fear through faith. Both are mental. Let us learn to reverse the thoughts of fear and transmute them into faith. Enjoy your time. And so, we would soon overcome fear through faith. Both are mental. Let us learn to reverse the thoughts of fear and transmute them into faith. Ernest Holmes. And what I know about that is that deep within us is a core of faith, a deep well of faith, a deep well of knowing that in spite of what the outside shows us, that within us is the power to change by changing ourselves. So what I know is right where we are, that power, that light, that energy, that source, that power for change is. And I know right here and right now that each of us in our own unique individual way bring that power to the surface and let it out into our experience in the most magnificent and amazing ways. And I know that it is felt not just in this community, not just on this island, not just in Orlando, but all over the world, all over the globe. That deep, deep love and faith which we have in the power for good, the power for change, is felt. And I know that our love infuses everything, infuses all that are suffering with a just deep well of our love, surrounding them and folding them, and that it is felt and it does uplift. That's what I know, and I know we are here to make a difference on this planet, and we do. Each of us, in our own unique way, we have a purpose to make a difference through love, and we do. So I bless this service and this time together, knowing that we are even more and more awakened as we go through this time together to what is ours to do, what is ours to be. And I just allow this service to unfold perfectly, each getting and giving exactly what is needed. Knowing this as the truth of my being, I just am grateful in advance for everything that occurs here, moment by moment by moment. And I just release my word. I release it as law, and I let it be so, accept it as so, as I say. And so it is. So taking another deep breath, I welcome you back into our space here together, into this time, as we light our peace candle. Again, an acknowledgement of our brothers and sisters in Orlando and all over the world that are affected by this experience. And in doing that, I would like to just read a quote first. I put it on my blog this week, but if you haven't heard it, it's actually the full quote of Anne Frank. She wrote, "In spite of everything, I still believe that people are really good at heart. I simply can't build up my hopes on a foundation consisting of confusion, misery, and death. I see the world gradually being turned into a wilderness. I hear the ever-approaching thunder which will destroy us too. I can feel the suffering of millions, and yet, if I look up into the heavens, I think that it will all come out all right, that this cruelty too will end, and that peace and tranquility will return again." Wow. So with that in our hearts, we're going to sing "I Send My Love Over the Ocean." It's in your program.
I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love up to the heavens, and it returns to me.
I send my joy.
Send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy up to the heavens, I send my power over the sea. I send my power up to the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace up to the heavens, and it returns to me.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
So,
All righty.
right, in
One
case-
thing I just want to add, can I get a little more volume to this? There's something not right for me personally. But
you know, Patrick,
there
he
you
likes
go.
to be loud.
I have to hear myself. I just want to say something about this whole idea of peace and this whole idea of what we're doing for Orlando and just what we're holding space for. But I wanted to come a little closer to this room. If there is anything, and we all have things that go on in our lives that it's all subjective when you really think about it. Right here in this room, we are capable of being able to help one another. And I want to remind us of that. Yes, we come here on Sundays, and it is grand, and it's a reminder of our magnificence. But I also want you to know if there is anything, and I do mean anything, going on in your lives personally, that we're here for you, that we're here 24/7. We did not open a part-time center because a part-time center will get part-time results. We did not move to where we're at in 3 years because we did not do this full-time. Our heart is full-time. And I want and invite any of you that are feeling anything at any time, that you need something, that you know that you have a family here, that there is never a dark moment that you have to go through, that you do not have a spark of light waiting for you right here amongst us and amongst Rita and I, Reverend Diane, and all of our interns that are coming up. Please know that. I've just been inspired to say that, and just as a reminder, you are not alone ever, ever. Namaste.
Okay, so if you're here for the first time and you don't know what we're about at this point,
You know that we're 24/7 now.
we do practice. I don't like to think of us as a religion because whenever I use the word religion, I think of dogma, and we have no dogma. We only have one thing, and that is that we are each an expression of a divine and amazing intelligence, a love, an energy, a source that is expressing through each of us individually and in all its perfection. And we come here to recognize that every Sunday and to do our best in every moment to live our lives from that place of knowing. And when we can't know it for ourselves, as Patrick said, there are others here to know it for us and to help us, to assist us to get to that place. So, welcome. Welcome.
And who is here for the very first time? You can't hide because we know who you are. There you go. I think there's somebody else in this room. Where am I not looking? Oh, no. Oh, I see. Everybody, well, this moment is new, so you actually are here for the very first time. But let's not go there, shall we? So let's go to letting the people that are here for the first time, let them know what we know about them. And that is that you are magnificent. But then you already knew that, but we know that. Why? Because we know that about ourselves. Shall we all say it together? I am magnificent. And then, before we say it to one another, why don't we look at that little camera, that wonderful device that allows people from another place to see us, and just to say to them, let's let them know that they're magnificent. You are magnificent. And I know Roseanne's watching, and don't worry, we got the eggs all under control,
And I
Roseanne.
also know that one of our practitioner interns, Malia, is watching.
Malia,
so, Malia, say hi. I
aloha.
told her we say a shout out to her.
Boy, this is like, for you young people, you wouldn't remember, but it's like Romper Room. And when they go, and I see my friend Malia. And And it would be like magical. You'd be like, oh, they saw me. And there's Patrick. Oh, how did they know? Because they just threw out random names. But besides that, as a child, I actually did believe that. So why don't you say that to your neighbor, left or right? I don't know why I had a romper room moment. But say that you're magnificent to each other, shall you? You are magnificent. You are magnificent. You two are magnificent. That's true. You are magnificent.
You're magnificent.
You're magnificent.
I like your hair too.
All righty. So let's rein in our magnificence. All right. And if you feel like it, stand for our opening song and let's have at it.
Let's go.
All right.
2, 3, 4.
Do.
All right, here we go.
All right, everybody.
Don't worry about a thing.
Come on, Everett.
Every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing. La 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 la. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Be alright. Be alright. I rise up this morning. I smile with the rising sun.
Everybody smile.
3 little birds pitch by my doorstep, singing sweet songs.
I see you, Ron.
A melody pure and true. Singing, this is my message to you.
Come on.
We got Kelly and Louise on the drums.
Don't worry about a thing. Cause every little thing
Come on, Cuckoo.
is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing. No, no, cause every little thing is gonna be alright.
So what I know about that is everything is all right. And I know that as we concentrate and just bring up that well of joy within us, it is felt by everyone. So I just let this service be a service of joy within ourselves, letting it out, letting it go, and letting it be. And I know it's perfect in all ways, so I just release this and I just let it go as we say, and so it is.
I rise up this morning and I smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds pitch by my doorstep,
All right, let's see some dancing, Jenny.
singing sweet songs. The melody is true and true.
Yeah.
Singing, this is my message to you. One more time we sing, don't worry
Everybody, here we go.
about a thing. La, 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 la. Every little thing is gonna be alright.
Right, Yvette?
Sing, don't worry
Yvette, I see you, girl.
about a thing.
William.
Don't know, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Be alright. It's gonna be alright. Be alright. It's gonna be alright. Gonna be alright. Gonna be alright.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Hello, beautiful.
It is felt.
Welcome.
I'm remembering a story about somebody whose child had just passed away, and that night they went out dancing. And somebody asked them, why were they out dancing? And they said they were dancing because of their child, and they wanted to keep the joy of that going. So they said there was no point in them doing anything but that. So I know it makes a difference. It makes a difference. We can still have joy when others are suffering. It helps them. It helps them. So just keep it going. Somebody said to me yesterday about our island, oh, we're so protected here and all that, whatever. I don't know about that. I don't know how protected we are. I know that I always feel safe no matter what's going on, but I also know we're holding a lot of light here and that we really do make a difference. So I am grateful. I am grateful to all of you. And I realized I didn't even introduce myself. I'm Reverend Rita, in case you didn't know. And that's Reverend Patrick. And that's Michael and Carrie over there. And we keep talking about Reverend Diane, but she's right there. Okay, so I have a little message, and it's called Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. And does anybody remember that? I don't know. Mine, it was always wait till you get home. So I was like one of those, I was the black sheep of my family, like my Aunt Dolores. I was always in trouble. But, and it was always wait till you get home. And, you know, I went home. It wasn't so bad. I got through it all, right? So, I want to just talk about my dad for a minute. I talk about him often here. Well, I haven't talked about him in a while, but since it's Father's Day, I thought I'd indulge myself. And I didn't have the easiest childhood because my father was from Italy. And yeah, he was I guess I'll say it on air, he was a fascist. Can you imagine that? But he was brought up during Mussolini's time, and he got over that. He deserted the fascist regime and hid out for a long time during World War II in the woods and ate some very yucky things that he had to eat in order to not starve to death. And I'm sure it was a very awful and difficult time for him. But one of the things I learned from him was that he came back to his family, and his family came together and found each other again. And their house was demolished, just totally demolished by the war. This is World War II I'm talking about. And the first thing my dad did after he made sure everybody was all right is he went out and he looked for a piano, because he wanted to bring music back into the house, because he knew that music was his passion, his love, and he wanted to bring it back. And he somehow found a piano, I don't know. And then he proceeded to find something that he could do to wallpaper the walls, paint. He did whatever he could. He didn't wait till everybody else helped him. He just took care of it the best that he could when he could. So that's my message today, is like, what are we waiting for? Are we waiting to find our lives? Are we waiting to find a purpose for ourselves? Are we waiting? Like, we have a purpose just by being alive, just by being here in this body, in this consciousness that we're in. That's a purpose. When somebody smiles at me and makes me feel better, they've fulfilled a purpose. It doesn't have to be like a big thing. So what are we waiting for? Are we waiting for the government to tell us everything's okay, that we don't have to be afraid anymore? Are we waiting? What are we waiting for? We can start right here and right now. We don't have to wait. There's a book now for sale in the bookstore called Treat Yourself to Life. We finally got it. Did you find it, Reverend Diane? Oh, it's under the table. You'll find it when you get back. I left it there so you could put it out. But anyway, now you know it's there. Anyway, so yeah, I was trying to be good. Everybody tells me to delegate, so I guess I didn't do a very good job at delegating, but I hid it under the table. Anyway, it's there. It's a book by a very powerful man named Raymond Charles Barker. He was a friend of Ernest Holmes and a leader in our movement of the New Thought. And he didn't mince words. Like, he just, like, when you read this book, you're going to go, whoa, why am I, like, even feeling anything besides magnificent? Because this guy's telling me that that's who I am. And he has 50 years experience, right, of helping people and seeing the results. And he wrote, I personally believe in the immediate demonstration of God in your world. Unless you're experiencing a good right now, you cannot say that you are spiritually minded. Whoa, see what I mean? He's just like, if you're not experiencing a good right now, you're not spiritually minded. Every spiritual teacher who has ever appeared has lived in freedom in the midst of limitation. They've produced their own good out of themselves. So there's nobody that we need to wait for to feel and to be and to experience good in our lives, to experience power in our lives, because everything that we could ever possibly came here with, we came here with the power, as the power and presence of God, as the power and presence of life source itself, a source that keeps the planet spinning, that we don't even fall off this earth because of it, right? We're standing here, we could be flying off into space, but we're not, because there's an intelligence that rules all this, that is the same intelligence that we come from. It's like our heredity. We could say, oh, we inherited this from our dad or that from our mom or whatever, but we didn't. What we'd inherited was the power and presence of spirit as us. So we have no excuses anymore. We have no excuses to think that we don't have what it takes to help this planet. We have what it takes. We just have to stand up and use it. Now, right? Yeah, okay, so now we might not go off and go to the Peace Corps, or we might not go off and go to Orlando and start, doing whatever we might. But we can do it right here. We can do it right here by being an expression of what I'm talking about, by getting out of our small selves and all our complaints and all the things we don't have and start focusing on what we do have, which is that power and that presence. Raymond Charles Barker says that it's logical. He goes, you can look at it and you can say, oh, that person has it, but I don't. But that's not true. It's logical. If one person has it, everyone has it. We live in an equal opportunity situation, spiritual situation. It might not seem that way in the world of form, but spiritually we are all equal and we all have it. It's a matter of how much we are letting out. So, and it's not like we have time and space on this planet so that we won't walk into each other, so we'll know when to get to an appointment, but in reality there is no time and space. So it's only a tool we use so that we can live on this planet and not be impolite. In reality, really, but in reality, in the spiritual realm of experience, in the spiritual intelligence, there is no time and space. So if you're waiting for something to happen, if somebody told you that it takes 10 days to get over a cold, that's a lie. If you get a cold, you can get over it immediately. And I know that's the truth because I've experienced it. I didn't buy into it takes 10 days to get over a cold. We are spiritually hypnotized. I wrote this about in my week, on my blog this week too. We're hypnotized. How do you like that? You're hypnotized. You're hypnotized into believing the things that you believe. Because there is no such thing as a true belief. Belief is just belief. They're all false. You get to make up whatever you believe. So if you want to believe that it takes 10 days to get over a cold, it'll take 10 days to get over a cold. But you can change your belief. That's the whole thing. So what are you waiting for? You think you can't, maybe. It's hard to kind of think, oh, how do I change my belief? I've been believing this way for such a long time, but you can. Because beliefs are in your subconscious mind, and this is the science of this teaching. You can change what's in your subconscious mind. You might think you can't, and it might be hard, but you give up just when you start, and then you say it doesn't work. Like we were talking about this before, yesterday. We were talking about spiritual mind treatment. Someone does a treatment for you and says that you're perfect health. And you're like, wow, that feels good. I feel like perfect health. And then 2 seconds later, or 5 minutes later, you go back and you say, oh, my back sure hurts. This hurts, that hurts. You've negated your treatment. So what Raymond Charles Barker says, and I really think it's really good, and I agree with this because I'm falling into the same trap. Start thinking about something else. Maybe your back is still hurting you. Maybe you still have a cold, whatever it is that you're dealing with, or your checkbook still says 0 or whatever. And you've just done a treatment to say, you know what, I know that I'm prosperity. I know that I'm unlimited abundance. Okay, so you go back and look at it, then you're gonna negate your treatment, all right? What you have to do is think about something else. So find a reason to be grateful. Look out and say, wow, I really am prosperous. So think about something else, and you'll retrain your mind. So I don't know what we're all waiting for. This world, everybody could say the world's going to crap and all that stuff, but you know what? It's not true. You're right, it is not true. There are more good people, like Anne Frank said. If she could say that in her time and space, what are we waiting for? So I dedicate this Father's Day to the Father that's within me, that power and that presence that can rise up and know anything good and live everything good and be everything good and bring that goodness into this world because of who I am. I don't need to have a big purpose. I can be on this small island. I can be just a person, a mother, a father, a child. I can be anything, and I can use my mind on purpose for the good. And that's what I claim, and that's what I know for each one of us. And I don't mean to point at you. It's my school teacher coming out. Anyway, it's my Italian. So I love you, and I wish you, that was my father. Okay. I wish you all a very happy Father's Day, whether you're a father or not a father, whatever you are, there is a father within you. Power, 5 cents. All right. Whoa. Oh. Now, our angels will sing for us and play for us.
Thank
Michael
you,
and Carrie
Reverend
Fox.
Rita. That's beautiful.
Wow, how do you follow that?
That's a great talk.
Easily.
Oh my gosh. Well, happy Father's Day to all of you
Happy
out there.
Father's Day.
Thank you.
Not today. Our
Next
anniversary
week.
is June
Thank you,
28th.
though.
Good thing I remember
Anyways, so thank you. We are going to dedicate this song to all of the fathers and grandfathers and ancestors out there, and to honor the land where we reside.
that. And we'll honor the mothers. Without the mothers, we'll have no fathers, right? So this is for
True.
the mothers too. And the children.
And the children.
Exactly. I'd like to just say a quick quote that came to me the other day with a little help from Mother Nature before we sing this song. To really, today we're honoring Orlando, we're honoring ourselves, we're honoring the fathers, the mothers, our lives. And this quote came to me as I was hitting my hand on the earth. It's, quote, "Earth the mother, the gospel teacher. She sings from the heart and knows how to reach you. The flame, the fire, our one desire, igniting the passion only you can inspire. From the time a leaf falls from the tree, you can fulfill your entire destiny." The spirit of the Aina is immersed in righteousness. Think about that. The spirit of the land is preserved in righteousness. That is the Hawaii state motto.
Would they feel? Would the smile be content or cry? How would they feel? Would the smile be content or cry? Would the smile be content or cry? How would they feel? Oh my. Ikapono Hawaii. Sing along if you feel it. Umaha ke o kaina. Ikapono Hawaii. Umaha ke o kaina. Ikapono Hawaii.
Mahalo. Okay. Here we are. What could I possibly say after Firecracker over here? You're on fire, girl, today. And I love it. I love it. But you know me, I always will find something to say. It's guaranteed. Father's Day. It means something different for all of us. It's a real mixed bag of nuts for me, to be honest with you. And I thought of it more this year than I ever have. And if you've been around long enough, you know I'm no stranger to talking about my mama, because I'm Big Mama's boy. But I don't talk a lot about my dad. And I was thinking about him this morning, and I thought, I've come to such a place in my heart and in my soul that a place of love for him as well. As a small child, my father spent a lot of time chasing his demons. We've all experienced demons. My father had a lot of them. And I spent a lot of time during that time protecting myself and my mother and my family from all of his demons. And what a gift. Because I thought to myself this morning, and then here's the other thing I thought about this father thing. That was what was happening at home, and I started to see moments that I benefited from my father, which I did. Because not all role models are worthy of the Father's Day card, but nevertheless, I can always learn what I did not want to do, what I did not want to become. What I wanted to become was something new, and I didn't have a grandfather. They all took off before I got here. It was like this male thing. It's like, Patrick's coming out of here. You know, it's like, so I kind of searched my life not knowing that I was looking for that male role model. And I just kept looking and looking and didn't really even know it. I was in a lot of situations because I was looking for male role models. And I thought, why? Why is it that everywhere I looked, I could not find a man I could look up to? Now, my mother, she did the father-mother thing very, very well, by the way. She was my strength. She was the sensitivity. She was the you can do it, Patrick, no matter what. So she kind of took the role of both. But still there's that little part going, I'm still looking for that and that. And so today I realized why I never had any real male role models. Because I got to meet the male role model inside of me. And I got to find the Father, the sacred Father that lives inside of me. And even when I was a Catholic, and I was a little altar boy, I was looking for that male role model in God. But he was an absentee father because I couldn't really get to him. I still had to go through Mother Mary, right? I still had to go through my mother. It's like, can I just go straight to Dad, Father? No, Mother Mary, St. Teresa, all of them, they'll get to him for you. So I go, there's another male not showing up for Patrick. There we go. But I stand here today and I am grateful because I am not waiting for my father to get home anymore. Yeah, no more waiting for my dad. And I thought, how did I become such a wonderful, and I say this with all truth, how did I become such a wonderful role model? When I've worked with kids the last 20 years, I was actually working with kids when I was a kid, because I was this little spirit that just had this mentorship personality. And I thought, how did you get to be such a good role model when you didn't have any role models except the ones that we kind of had to get away from? And that includes all my friends, all my buddies I tried to look up to, and all we ended up was kind of down to on certain occasions. And I thought I became a wonderful role model because I had a father within that I dared to explore and dared to go to and from. So all the time I needed my strength. It was right here where I am. I think it's wonderful. Our young people need role models of all kinds. But I think it's time to stop the duality about father, mother. It is really all one powerful source that's coming through, and it's an energy. It's a sacred energy that I believe that is within us. And playing a little bit on Rita's Don't Wait, I was thinking, we watched a tape that, little video slide that Rita made of the last 3 years that we've all been building this. And there's a quote that, and was a song that goes with it about a miracle, and it was Whitney Houston's song Miracle, and it says, we were moving mountains long before we knew we could. And that is what Rita and I have been doing, and now what we're all doing. We aren't waiting for Dad to get home. We're not waiting for a verdict about, am I good, am I bad, am I in trouble, am I going to be punished? No, we're not waiting. And when I watched that slideshow, I actually cried. I know you guys find that hard to believe because I'm not a man of emotions, but I have never cried so much since I started this center. FYI. FYI. But that's a good thing, because that's that balance that I believe that my mother gave to me, to be able to be strong and yet to be able to be sensitive. And when I watched all of our pictures scattering through the last 3 years, I thought to myself, if I had really thought about it, would we have done it? And the answer is yes. But I like it better to know that we were moving mountains long before we knew we could. We went with our heart wide open. We waited for nothing. And if we did, and we listened to no one because we had a lot of advice. Really, Kaua'i, all of that. My goodness, I went on a vacation there once. You plan on living there? Oh, starting a center. They don't need it. They're so spiritual already. What would they possibly need from you guys there? They're all walking around by the beach, just knowing that life is whole and perfect and complete. They need you not. Missionaries, go some other island. They need you not. And then we get here. I rest my case. No, what I know about us is, and I mean that, is that the time, as Rita so eloquently and so powerfully put it, the time to stop waiting has come. Whatever has happened up until now, bless it, release it, and get on with this wonderful thing called life. It is so special. I bless the Father within. I bless all of the rotten times with my dad. I bless all of his demons that caused him to do things. He was doing the best that he knew how to do at the time that he was doing it. We have no right, I have no right to point my finger. I was not in his shoes. I may have suffered a little bit from him in his shoes, but at the end of the day, look who's here. Look who's here. So all of that stuff, I wouldn't erase for a moment. But I really do end this message with saying, bless the Father within us. Not God out there. Bless that powerful Father, loving Father that says this and only this. What do you want? How do you want to live? I am here for you. You are never, ever, ever alone. And the good news is that Father, that Spirit, works through each and every one of us. So whenever you're looking for Father, just take a look at around you, next to you, in front of you. It has no gender. It has no gender. It is spirit, it is energy, and most of all, it is love. And love wins. Happy Father's Day to all of you. All of you. Namaste. Oh. Today is just filled with it. Isn't it wonderful? Yeah. Woo. Okay. So this is a time of affirmative giving, and that means we give because we can, and we give in many, many ways. We give from our consciousness, we give from our wallets, we give from our spirit. It doesn't really matter. It all comes to one place, and you're never going to run out because this is an unlimited source. In fact, we have a new, so don't think you can just say this affirmation after 3 years. We thought we would really do something different, and we have Raymond Charles Barker. And I'm just going to say it once. We can all say it together just so we can get to know it. It starts out with something scandalous. I like money. Ooh, I like money. I believe that it is God's activity and that it is good. I use it with wisdom. I release it with joy. I send it forth without fear, for I know that under a divine law, it comes back to me increased and multiplied. It comes back to us how? Increased and multiplied. I like money. Why not? You ready?
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. Thank you for my health, Spirit. Thank you for my health. My radiant health.
Something like that.
My radiant health. Thank you for abundance. Thank you for abundance. Thank you for abundance. Thank you for abundance. My opulent abundance. My opulent abundance. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful friends. My wonderful friends. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit. Thank you for my life. My wonderful life. My wonderful life.
So what I know about this wonderful life and this abundance that is in my hand, I know that it is so abundant and so multiplied and so increased. But not just this money. Money is God in action, but it is the consciousness behind it. And I know that this consciousness that is in this room is a billionaire. I know that because the consciousness in this room is filled with love, filled with support, filled with good, and most of all, filled as God. So knowing that, I just say thank you, mahalo, mahalo, to everything in these baskets, everything in this room, and everything on this planet. As together we say with such gratitude, and so it is. How y'all feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah, magnificent. We are indeed. If anything has come up for you, I'm only laughing because it's on those wonderful deep days that we go, if anything's come up for you. We have a box over there. We call it the yes box. It's not a magic box. It's a yes box. And the magic is already in and as you. But if something's come up for you that you'd like a little extra attention on, a little extra knowing, a little extra prayer, you have some people here that will be glad to do that for you. So just go ahead, write. We're out of our slips, so we put some papers over there. Just put it what it is. We will be glad to pray on it, know it, and just know that when that box is closed, it has already said yes for everything. So knowing that, I think it's time for us to sing and party out into the streets. You guys ready to climb a mountain?
Should we bring it up?
We can move mountains. Did you know that? We are mountains, yes.
Let it go on the mountain.
Uh-oh.
Let it sing on the mountain. Let it ring on the mountain. Now is the time to let yourself shine. Let it go on the mountain. Let it sing on the mountain. Let it ring on the mountain. Now is the time to let yourself shine. Honor your heart, make a brand new start. See the world with clearer eyes. No turning back, surprise, surprise. Remove the disguise. It's my life. It's my life. It's my life.
Come on, everybody, let's do this.
Let it go on the mountain. Let it ring on the mountain. Let it ring on the mountain. Now is the time to let yourself shine. Let it go on the mountain. Let it sing on the mountain. Let it ring on the mountain. Now is the time to let yourself shine.
On your heart, make a brand new start. See the world with clearer eyes.
No turning back, surprise, surprise. Remove the disguise. It's my life. It's my life. It's my life.
I know this is my life, it is your life, and it is a good life. And I know this life is filled with gratitude. And I like to start out that gratitude with our beautiful announcements with Michelle LeMay, who does them so easily, effortlessly. And we have our greeters today, Stephanie and Sue. Let's give it up for them who are greeting this wonderful consciousness. And Roseanne's not here today, but she is in Colorado, so we say aloha and mahalo. And we got that live streaming husband back there, Rob, and we know that. And Ray over next to him is learning that as well. So filled with gratitude when Stephanie walked in with these beautiful flowers today and said aloha, and they just appeared. That's how it works, folks. Instant demonstration. And so we have Reverend Diane, not only here, she's probably over in the bookstore. Where is she? There she is. Where? We thank her. Ron Stover, hospitality man. Woo! And Janice, who always stands very tall. Now she's got, because of a volunteer meeting last week, she's got people out there assisting her now, and we're going to build that beautiful, beautiful youth program here at CSL Kauai. And let's not forget our beautiful, beautiful Michael and Carrie, Kelly on drums, Luis on drums, and we can't help but say to our beautiful Reverend Rita for that kick butt powerhouse of a message. Yes.
Patrick and Rita, everybody, give him some love.
And don't forget me.
Yes.
Oh, I hate to do that. Mahalo, mahalos, together we say, and so it is.
Let it go on the mountain.
Come on, everybody.
Let it sing on the mountain.
We got this.
Let it ring on the mountain. Now is the time to let yourself shine. Let it go on the mountain.
Come on, everybody.
Let it sing on the mountain. Let it ring on the mountain. Now is the time to let yourself shine. Honor your heart, make a brand new start. See the world with clearer eyes. No turning back, surprise, surprise. Remove the disguise. It's my life. It's my life.
It's my life. Oh yeah.
Oh, yes. And don't forget the women's meeting and men's starting in about 10 minutes or so. Take it out to the streets, you guys. Aloha.
I'll get that platform put together.